Master Your Mindset with Nate Schooler and Kim Adele.
Hey.
Hello.
Good morning. It's an absolute delight to be here. Today we are joined by the fabulous Vandana as well as Nate, and I have to also apologise in advance. I have my little helper with me. So due to a recent potential COVID scare, we're currently self-isolating whilst we wait for our test results. So if I end up with a little person joining in, I will go on mute. My apologies. But we are so looking forward to chatting with the lovely Vandana. So welcome.
Thank you so much, and really happy to be here. And thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure to meet Kim and, Nate. Nate is the right way to pronounce?
Nate, it's fine. I'm kind of relaxed. It's a long story. I keep making fun of me about it, but never mind. We're not gonna go into that. We're really here to discuss with you mindset and how to overcome your fears and step into your future. And I want to thank you first of all for agreeing to come along and talk about this. And yeah, I mean, I think the first thing we need to talk about is to sort of stop fearing. And I think a lot of people, they kind of talk about false evidence appearing real. And that is something that we all create these imaginary scenarios in our minds. So I just kind of wondered, how have you sort of dealt with your fear in the past, Vandana?
So see, fear is something that will come to you at any point, any time, and it will override you at times. But the thing is that you have to strike it out every time it comes to you. So initial years, when I came back to India, the fear was there for small things, and it was not letting me grow. It was not letting me, come out of it. Then finally, I decided that I'm going to live by the motto that what is the worst that's going to happen, and I'm going to, each time the fear comes to me, I'm going to override it, and I'm going to strike it out from me and do what is necessary. So that, I think, helped me come out of my fears. Reading the book The Power of the Subconscious Mind is very, very important. It keeps your mind in the center. And also practicing the law of attraction helped me a lot. So in my initial years, some few people mentioned to me about it, and I never paid attention to it. And I said, I don't know what's this law of attraction and why should I do it, and then a stage came when I myself went into it and I started practicing it. And I think that helped me a lot. And self-doubt comes to all entrepreneurs, whether, and it comes to all human beings. So even when we are doing the right things, self-doubt would come. But then we have to really accept it coolly and understand it, that why is it coming, evaluate it, and then move forward from it. Because, that we as mothers, the guilt factor comes in. Maybe you have already done enough for your kids, but you feel, oh, maybe something is still lacking. And that self-doubt will keep coming in for women. For men, the self-doubt comes in. Sometimes they are excellent in so many skills, and they themselves don't know their skills until a friend or somebody helps them recognize. So the self-doubt keeps coming in to them, that whether they are doing things in the right manner, whether they are moving in the right direction, and it comes to each and everybody. So I think that only leads us to becoming more confident, and it only leads us to evaluate ourselves and reflect on us more better. So I think it's sometimes it's good to have it, because it helps you evolve and makes you a better person. So I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah, no, and so true, isn't it? Sometimes we focus too much on the things that we think that we're not good at, and yet when you ask somebody else what they think you're good at, you could be really surprised by the fact that they think you're really good at something that you're actually working on. So I think being able to be confident enough to ask people, what do you think that I'm good at, so that you get a more rounded perspective can really help. Because I know certainly, for me over the years, I've desperately tried to work on something that somebody else thought was a strength, and I just hadn't seen it until they were able to kind of point it out. And I think you're right. Sometimes that fear does get in the way, doesn't it? That nervousness that you're going to get it wrong or not be good enough or look foolish. But actually, if you remember what your purpose was, why is it you're even trying? That can often give you the strength, can't it, to push through the fear and try anyway.
Yeah.
And not only that, I think I've started this chain now already. Like in all my webinars and speaker events, I tell everybody, including the audience, that start helping people to recognize their skills. Start this chain. Because when I did this for a few of my friends, and they did it for me, it helped me understand what are my hidden talents, what I can do myself, and so many things about myself that I had notions about and which got fixed automatically. And at one point I'm like, oh, I was always fine, I mean, I had the skills. So I think that's the thing, start helping each other to recognize a skill and point out, actually you have this skill. Like I remember I went for a PTM in my son's school, and one of the subject teachers, the language teachers, she said that, could you do something with your voice, and you have a good voice. She told me that. I did try to do few things with my voice, like recording voice podcasts and giving voice interviews, because she mentioned it to me, so I took it and I remember that. So sometimes we don't know, and there were a few friends who told me some other things about me. Today, one client of mine, I think he wrote it very naturally that I'm soft spoken. So I think that touched me a lot, because nobody writes that as a recommendation for somebody, so I think he wrote it from his heart, I guess. So these are the different things that I think we need to focus on. But it's not that we can also, one more thing that I want to highlight here is, we cannot always stay positive. There will be times then we are low and we are negative, and we can't always be happy, we can't always be shiny, we can't always be perfect, because after all we are human beings. So we have to also accept that part when we get negative, and understand why is that happening, but try to push it away gently from your system. So the things that you could do is listen to music, go for a walk, do something which is just diverts you from that and brings you back to your own positive self. So
completely. So when it comes to creating a vision for the life you deserve, it can be very difficult if you're in an unhappy place, but have you got any sort of brief advice for people who would like to create a vision for the life that they deserve?
So it just happens automatically. Nobody can create a vision for anybody. They have to see their own vision themselves. Now it happens, there will be times when you feel like a gridlock around you, and you cannot see that vision because there's a gridlock of problems around you, or you're overloaded with stuff that you can only see that problems around you and the stuff that you're facing in a gridlock. So that time you cannot see your vision. At that time, you have to So the thing is that I believe if you focus on problems, that will keep magnifying. But if you focus on solutions, that will keep magnifying. So at that point, start focusing on solutions. Slowly. So even if it is one step at a time, even if it's just like waking up from the bed, even if it's just like making your bed, just simple things. Even if it's like doing something like just simply doing one baby step for that day for your goals, like going for a 10 minutes walk. So just do small baby steps to rise to be slow, but slow and steady also wins the race. So, just be slow, but go stepwise. And for me, like my vision, I'll just tell you that I just had one vision, which is that I didn't want to be under somebody. I didn't want to work under somebody. I didn't want to feel boxed in any situation wherein, I cannot recognize my own self. So there were phases where, I thought that maybe, what I'm doing is incorrect. But then I went back to what I had done in the past years and how much I had accomplished in those years. And I kept looking at that and I said, no, I can do it. I can do it. And that helped me grow. So that was the thing. Now my vision is to, after 5 years, to reach Forbes for front page, but that's just a vision and a goal. I'm not sure if that could be accomplished, but so I had these, these things which I look forward to. So the vision can be anything. So my vision that time was to push myself to my highest potential, and do whatever best I can. And then, even if it's not enough, to think that it's enough, and again push myself and push myself. So, so there were certain steps that you have to take yourself. The thing is that nobody will come to rescue you, whether you are in that phase of fear, in that phase of not having a vision. You will want to ask other people like, so what should I do? And I'm not getting any direction. But then even if you ask 10-20 people, you will still not get a direction. The direction that you will get is only when you will have that visualization of the direction. So don't fall into that trap when you don't have any direction and start asking around. So now I don't have a direction. Now what do I do? Because nobody can give you the direction, even if you ask them, even if they are your well-wisher. You have to create your own direction somehow. So the best way to do is quickly, when you are in such a state of misery or such a state where this thing, just go and look up law of attraction and see that how, and do something spiritual, which really affects your life fast, and work towards it every day until you get the hang of it. And then you will see that things keep changing. So I can tell you that I had no backing at all, and I'm a self-made woman. But self-made also means that I had crossed all these fears, these visions, these things that came in. And sometimes I feel that I have, nowadays I get this thing that maybe I have to do something bigger for the humanity, or something big is going to happen. That kind of thing is going on, and between my business and myself. So I feel maybe what it is, I don't know what it is, I don't know. But I keep working towards my work dedicatedly. So things like that have helped me. I'm not saying it is easy. It's not a bed of roses, but it's not difficult. Once you overcome it, you will feel like silly about yourself and say, "Oh, I did it." Like. So there is one quote that I read the other day, that, always look at 5 years behind and think where you were 5 years, and then think where you are now, and just think, wow, this is happening. And then move ahead and think that, wow, it's going to happen.
But it's true, isn't it? Because, one of the things I always say to clients is you've survived 100% of the challenges life's thrown at you so far. That's one heck of a strike. Yeah. So if I were you, I would back yourself, because you've proven, even at those times where we're fearful. And I think you're right. Sometimes we worry that we can't see the whole picture. We don't know where the exact place that we're heading. But actually, as long as we just keep moving forward, and a good friend of mine always says that as long as you're progressing, even if it's a really small step, just keep doing it. And sometimes, I think it was Michael Jordan that said, you don't have to see the whole staircase, you just have to take the next step. And in taking those steps, then actually something else comes into view, and that can help you really start to define your vision. So rather than waiting until that vision is perfect and you can see every aspect of it, just keep moving towards the bit of the vision you can see, and the rest of it starts to come into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think also to just finish up, because I think I'm going to tie it all together really, because I had these 3 points, and you've really talked about getting to know yourself better, what you want out of life, identifying your fears is all part of getting to know yourself better, right? And then obviously taking action is the small steps that you're taking, as Michael Jordan said, about, when he missed the shots, and just be kind to yourself. And I think it's a fantastic way of living. But I also think there's a lot of misinformation about the law of attraction. I think that there are a lot of people that discuss it. It's become a religion, and actually it's not a religion, it's a concept. And I actually think that without activity and without doing something and taking daily actions, no matter how big they are, you're moving towards your vision. And I think that's the biggest issue that I have with a lot of the sort of new age kind of thoughts around this, and the books that are out there and the films, because they don't encourage you to take action, because they just want to take more of your money, as far as I'm concerned, really.
I think that's kind of one of the points, though, that Vandana, you made so beautifully, which is it's about taking the action. It's not just about thinking where you want to go. It's about moving towards it, isn't it? Whatever that action is, no matter how small it is, as long as we are, as long as we keep moving, then actually we can get where we want to go. And I think that's key in everything that we do. It's not just about what we think about, it's about what we do, it's what we action. And if we can align what we're thinking about with what we're doing, then we're going to get where we want to go a lot faster, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so inspired action. So when you are stuck and when you pray to the universe, then post that you just let it go to the universe, and then you take your inspired action, and then the dots start connecting. But somewhere you have to take the action. You have to hold yourself strong and rise up and dust yourself and put your chin up high, and then move again. Even if you fall 20 times, you have to keep doing that. And you have to take your own inspired action. You have to juggle your way around it, hustle. Every morning you have to hustle. So if you don't have that hustling thing going on inside you, that will drive you. So for different people, different things motivate them. So what motivates you towards that direction? I think you have to focus on that. And somewhere you only have to take the action, you have to take the call, and you'll get signs. And you have to grab those, you have to focus on those signs and grab the opportunities. And of course, it is not a religion, it's a theory. When you only when you practice it, you'll know that it is so easy and everything is just inside us. And all we need to do is just do it in the right manner. And after the inspired action, then also the result. Now, after you take the inspired action, the result could be 0, the result could be 100, the result could be 50. Don't feel disheartened or don't feel overconfident, or don't feel too like high-headed about everything. Just go on with the flow. So if you just go on with the flow, I think we'll just uh, keep moving in that direction. Either you, because some people just get disheartened. It's not that I never got disheartened, but then I tried again. I said, sometimes it takes several years, sometimes it takes a few days. For everybody, it's a different way of how things work. So
It's so true, isn't it? I mean, we always hear about these overnight successes, but actually they weren't overnight. They took a lot of work, a lot of effort, and a lot of moving that person forward. It's just we only ever see it at the point that it leaks out, doesn't it? And they've made this big ripple. But I think it is that plugging away at it, isn't it? Keep going. And we do get knocked down, but it's about getting back up and going, okay, so what have I learned? And what can I tweak slightly to see whether or not I can get a slightly different result, and use those to fuel us forward as opposed to hold us back, isn't it?
yeah, definitely. And sometimes if you don't have a backing or a support system, you take longer years. If you have a backing and a support system that believes in you, then you take shorter time to achieve this thing. So today it took me 7 years to reach here. But maybe if I had the right kind of support system, in 2 years I could have reached where I wanted to reach. So, but also there is no regression here, because that made me learn a lot, so bang on the certain moment you realize that that's it, you've learned now what to do, and you just get the flow of everything that you want. So it's I cannot explain, but it's that that moment when you feel that that's it, now there's no looking back. So I don't know how to explain that. I mean,
I do. It's like when you get listed in iTunes for the first time.
Yeah.
But Vandana, it's been absolutely fantastic. Did you want to add anything else, Kim, before we wrap up?
Just that it's been an absolute delight, and forgive me for the fact that I've got my little girl who clearly has decided to clean my house, which I'm not sure what that's supposed to be telling me, but I can hear her just potting away in the background, so apologies for that. But it's been an absolute delight, so insightful to just think about what is it you want to do, what is the action that you can take, whatever that is. So even if you can't see the big step, take the step you can see and just keep moving forward. And I guess trust yourself, because you've survived what you've got through here. And I guess it's being compassionate with yourself, isn't it? If you get it wrong, it's about acknowledging you at least tried, learning from it, and then getting back on the horse, as they say, and trying again. So thank you so much. It's been a joy to chat to you as always. Always learn so much, and looking forward to chatting again soon.
Yeah, thank you so much. Is this live on YouTube as well now at present?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I would like the link from you.
Of course. What we'll do is we're going to say bye to everybody now, but we will send you guys over the link. But thank you so much for joining us, and thank you people for watching and listening, and we will see you all soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your precious time, and bye to the little angel as well.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to MasterMindSet. Please